Welcome to day 2. We are going to go for it today. Today, we are going to do a talking head reel. So this is where you will actually be on camera, actually saying words, and that's going to become the reel. I know. I said we were going for it, right? Now, here's the thing. What always comes up is, oh my gosh, what do I say? We're going to take the pressure off there because you're going to say the same thing you just did in your last reel. You don't have to overthink it. We're going to just add a couple of tweaks, but the message is going to be the same. Now, if you find yourself nervous, that is totally expected. Totally expected. This is the first time or even the 10th time that you've done this. Imagine how much more confident you're going to be when you have done 100 of these or 500 of these. The most important thing, one of the biggest qualities of a successful person is to just keep going even when it's hard. And that's exactly what I want you to do. So we're going to take a little bit of pressure off here. I want you to just give you some perspective. This is pre-recorded. It's not live. You can re-record it and you can do it whenever you want. You can redo it if you don't like it. It is super short. It's going to be 45 seconds. You can do anything for 45 seconds. Okay. One of the biggest things that I would tell you to do is get in your big power energy. One of the things I do with my clients all the time, this comes from Tony Robbins, is to do a power pose. Whatever it takes, put yourself in a position where you're awesome. Pump yourself up, show up with confidence, and record that little blip. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about what you're going to do with your phone. Okay. Now you see my tablet here. I'm going to use that here in a second. When we actually go onto TikTok, you're going to actually build this in TikTok. First one we're going to build in TikTok. Okay. So what's important is that you're recording vertically on your phone, not horizontally. Reels are vertical. Okay. So the next thing you're going to want to do is make sure that once you have the camera on, that you're going to frame it in the right way. I wonder if I can do this on my tablet. Let's just try something here. How about this? Okay. So what you're going to want to do is frame yourself appropriately inside this box. Okay. You don't want to be this close. That's too close. And you don't want to be so far away, or even worse, you're down here and you're just this little head down here. Okay. So what you're wanting to make sure you do is that your phone is eye level, not down here, not up here, eye level. Think if I were to tie a string on the end of my nose, it goes right to my phone. Okay. And then you're going to want to have enough space behind you that it's not crowded, right? So think I'm going to take up 2/3 of the space in this frame. Okay. The other thing to think about is what's in your background. Now, I can't do much about this because this is a temporary thing, but this isn't bad. I might, instead of, you don't want to see some of this clutter, I might position it so that you just see the closet doors, or I might look for a different background. All you're going to do is move your camera around. Okay. Now, while I've got you here, you see I have my hands free. That's going to be really important. So if you don't have a tripod, you can order one, future thing, but you want to have some sort of tripod that you can put your phone on so you can be hands free. Or my tablet is actually in a floor stand. I'll show it to you later. If anybody wants a link to either of those on Amazon, just let me know and I'll get you a link. If you don't want to spend money on that, prop your phone up on some books. Find a dresser or a table or a shelf and just prop your phone up there so that you can have, a little bit more of your body in the picture. You don't have to have your whole body in, but the rule of thumb is kind of here up, you want to have in film. Otherwise, if you're clear down here, look what happens. Okay. If I'm clear down here and I start using my hands, see how weird that looks? You can't, the fingers just come out of nowhere, right? So you want it to be at least to get your shoulders in the view. Okay. Now, if when you get your phone all set up, you have this view, it's because your rear camera is on. So on your phone, you're going to find, it looks like 2 circles that look like this. You're going to want to just touch that and it'll turn it around so that you have this camera facing you. Okay. What I want to talk about before we actually record this is, where are you looking? And I want you to make eye contact with the camera lens. So on your phone, it's this little teeny thing right here. You have to find where the camera lens is on your phone. That's what you want to look at. But what happens is your brain plays tricks on you. Your brain tells you that you should be looking at the person and make eye contact, because that's what we've been taught, right? Make eye contact, look at the people. And so your brain says, well, there's a person right here, me. So I'm going to look at me. It's not an ego thing. My brain is overriding what I'm trying to teach myself to do. So you have to really work to not look down at your screen, but to look at the camera lens. One of the best things you can do is put Post-it notes over your screen so that you're not tempted to look at yourself. The other reason that this is good is that you can put your notes, the things you're going to talk about, on those little Post-it notes. If they don't stick to your phone, it's because your phone is dirty. You need to get it clean, like with regular cleaner. Don't just do this. Not enough. And I will tell you, Post-it notes, they just stick better. So get the actual Post-it notes. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to record yourself saying the same thing you put in your reel from day one. What we're going to do instead is we're going to give you a framework around that message. Okay. Here's the framework. It's 3 parts: hook, story, call to action. Hook, story, call to action. It is the only framework you're going to need with the majority of these kinds of reels. Okay. Your hook is the thing that grabs people's attention. Think, I'm dangling bait in front of my audience and I want them to bite. So what can I ask? What can I say that's going to hook them? Okay. Your story is the nugget, the blip, the quote, the message, whatever it is that you're saying. One of the best ways to look at this is, what problem or question does your audience have that this message, nugget, tip, whatever, solves or helps or answers? So you already know what this is because we did this the other day. Now just come up with a question that leads into you telling about this story. Got me? Okay. And then your call to action, this is, what do you want them to do? The so what. You can use the same call to action that you used on day one if you want. Keep it super simple. Or you can push yourself. You know, one of the next easiest calls to action is to say, in the comments, ask them a question. Ask them a question that's somehow relevant to this. Maybe you want to know what this means to them, or how this speaks to them, or how this shows up in their life. Ask them to tell you. It's as simple as that. Okay. All right. So what I want you to do at this point is pause this video and go and record that video on your phone so you have it on your phone. Now, again, nerves take over at this point. So I would say this thing is 30 seconds, 45 seconds long. Memorize it. Memorize it. If you can't memorize it, put the notes on your Post-it notes. Do not worry about getting it word for word. No one else knows what those words are. Only you know what those words are. So just get the general consensus of that message from the last reel. Okay. Now, once you have that, the next part of this video is, what do we do in TikTok to get that reel created? Here we go. All right, now that you've got your video on your phone, and by the way, do not worry if at the very beginning or the very end, you can see yourself pushing the on/off button on the record button. We're going to trim the front and the back. Sorry, I should have told you that beforehand. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and open your TikTok. That's so cute. Don't be distracted by the dogs, Jamie. Click the plus sign at the bottom and the photo to the right, and you're going to grab the video that we just created. And you're going to hit next. Now, it doesn't look that different, but all of a sudden over on the upper right-hand corner, you see how you have all of those icons. Okay. It's called a caret, but there's an arrow at the bottom that allows you to expand it and contract it a little bit. So if you expand it, now I can see the words. I'm going to click on captions because we're going to let TikTok do the captioning for us. So captions, and watch. Look how fast that was. TikTok just did it that fast. Now, if yours doesn't look like this, yours might look like this. these are the different options you have for how you want that text to look on screen. You just pick different ones and it shows up different in the reel itself. If you want yellow versus blue, if you want bigger, fatter outlined, you just have fun with this. Once you pick your choice, you're going to hit right next to, in the middle, it says style. To the right of that, there's an X. You're going to go ahead and close that. And now what you're going to want to do is just verify that it got the transcriptions right. And you can do that one of two ways. You can just read through. See how I'm just scrolling through here? Read through the words, or you have this little play button in the center. You could just play the reel and make sure that you've got the right words as you're talking. If you need to change one, stop playing it, click on the line that has the typo. And all I did was click there. And you see how I've got a flashing red cursor? I can double tap on a whole word if I want. I can drag that to be a whole, whole sentence. And then I can just type over it to correct whatever the transcription got wrong. Once you have that all right, you're going to hit the X. Over here, middle of the screen, over to the right, you're going to hit that X. Now, this is where we're going to trim the front part and the back part, okay? So all I'm going to do is with my finger, I'm going to touch on that video, scroll at the bottom. And I'm going to scroll to the beginning. Now look, it almost tells me exactly where I need to trim to, because this is where I start talking that purple box. So if I click, I'm just tapping on that, I get those arrows, sorry. And all I'm going to do is grab that and drag it to the start of that word. If I want to hit play, I might be like, oh, I want a little bit more. That's like almost too fast. So maybe I want to just drag it and just give myself a half a second there. Okay, but I also might look at is, what's my face look like? Like, that's not a good starting face, right? So I might try something like that. Nope, I'm gonna edit it. Let's see here. Okay, there you go. And then at the end, same thing. All I'm doing is at the bottom, I'm just scrolling past. And I'm going to just drag the very end to end with where my words stop. Scroll. All I'm doing is swiping my finger left and right to get that to move. On screen. I'm going to hit play, make sure it's doing exactly what I want it to do. If I'm happy with that, I'm going to hit the red button in the upper right-hand corner. And now everything else is the same. I write my descriptions. I write my hashtag, anybody that I might want to tag. Those are optional. You do not have to do those. And once I'm ready, I'm going to hit post. And not only does it post it, I also have a version of it on my phone that I can post into other places. How fun is this? Are you guys having a blast? You should be. I love it. Okay, for those of you that are in the VIP upgrade, you have an extra video today. In your video, we are going to take multiple videos and combine them. This works really well if you don't want to remember the whole thing. You just want to record a little bit and then record a little bit and record a little bit. It also allows you to change your background and change your viewpoint, which is visually engaging, more engaging to your audience. So we're going to do that in VIP. There was something else we're going to talk about. Oh, we're also going to talk about how do you add music on a really low volume behind your video and why that's so important. That's what it's called, trending audio, for a reason. So we're going to do that. And there's something else, but those were the big things. If you still want to upgrade to VIP, you absolutely can. Please reach out and I will get you the link. Okay. Do not forget to post your reel inside the Facebook group. And you can post this whatever, even though we're doing this on Tuesday and Thursday. If you don't get your reel done until Saturday or Sunday, no worries. You post it whenever you get it done. Okay. While you're in the Facebook group, please take a minute or two and watch some of the other reels and, cheer them on, give them write a nice comment. You all are working so hard to do this. I know you love it when you get a comment on your reel. How nice would that feel for somebody else? So please just take a couple minutes and do that. All right. If you have any questions or any struggles with this, you can drop questions in the comments. Comments in the comments are good too, but drop your questions in the comments of this video, or there is a post in the group that says day 2 questions and you can drop them in there. All right. Next week, 2 more reels to do. Have fun over the weekend and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye guys.